Good evening and welcome back to another episode of the Seneca Scout tonight. We have a variety of stories and interviews with students and teachers featuring local, sports, and national news. I'm Ileana James.
And I'm Jack Stefanelli. We begin our today's show by learning more about what we hope will become a new Seneca Valley tradition. Let's check in with Sophia for more.
On November 20th, Seneca Valley hosted an event for the students to enjoy called the Raider Reset, giving them a whole period with their friends to relax and learn a skill. Multiple students say they had an amazing time and cannot wait for the next one.
Why did you choose this particular activity?
It sounds like something fun that I don't get to do every day, and I love hanging out with Miss Nasson and my friends, so this just sounded like a good idea.
The person in charge of the event is the educational teacher, Miss Smolter. She plans to have another one, and she also wants to make sure it's more fun and better than the last one. Let's hear more from her.
So the purpose of the Raider Reset was to allow students an opportunity to do something different. We wanted to give them a chance to take a break from their traditional classes, especially right before a break, reset and relax. So offering things from different teachers, it allowed students to see teachers in a new light, and for them to learn something new, have a break, or enjoy time with friends. So we did ask for feedback. We do plan to change some things about the Raider Reset, but we were really happy with how it went. We asked for feedback from students and teachers, and it was overwhelmingly positive, which was great for us to hear for the first time doing it. We got some new ideas for different sessions to have. We are working with administration to see times that we can do it to hopefully allow for either more time, more space, different collaborations with teachers. So overall, really happy with how it went, but always looking for ways to improve it that the students want. So are there any other ideas for Raider Reset? I think yes. I think especially as the weather gets warmer, we would love to have some options outside in nature using the track. Students gave us some really good ideas as well in their feedback. And this first time around, I think teachers were a little unsure of what to offer. We wanted to make sure we were offering something we felt comfortable with doing, but also that kids would enjoy. So we got some really good ideas moving forward. I know crafts, science, cooking, games, a lot of fun options that were brought up to us. So the ideas that the teachers came up with for Raider Reset were overwhelmingly popular with students. So we were amazed. We had over 122 different offerings between the two buildings. And a lot of teachers, they asked for ideas, but some came up with incredible ones on their own.
Thank you, Sophia. Now we move to a more national story. On December 1st, Republican Congressman George Santos was officially expelled from Congress following the obtaining of the necessary 2/3 majority vote, with a final split of 311 to 114. Santos had been facing allegations of fraud and deception, including 23 federal charges, which include wire fraud and money laundering. The House Ethics Committee had previously released a detailed report which detailed his misconduct, concluding that Santos had, quote, sought to fraudulently exploit his House candidacy for personal financial profit, end quote. Santos, for a period of time, refused to voluntarily resign from Congress, which prompted at the time House Speaker Kevin McCarthy to initiate the expulsion proceedings. With his removal, George Santos becomes just the 6th House member in U.S. history to be expelled, being the first post-Civil War who was previously convicted of a felony. This exposition is a significant event to take place in recent American history and sends a strong message that no one is above the law.
The Seneca Valley wrestling team are seeing some upgrades to where they are practicing, including the installation of new mats. The team got new mats for many reasons, and as Seneca Valley Athletic Director Ms. Lewis believed that the old mats were, quote, were as hard as concrete, unquote. One person that is excited about the new mats is the assistant coach, Jake Calvin.
Coach Calvin with the Seneca Valley varsity wrestling team as the assistant. Yeah, so the mat room mats that had been there well over 15 to 20 years, and the mats themselves had become what some would refer to as a rock. So the practice time, the program success that we've had delivered the opportunity to get some new mats in there.
Additionally, Seneca Valley has been building a field house where the girls wrestling team can practice. This field house was designed to be similar to the men's field house, having a weight and mat room for the girls wrestling team to use. The team is excited to see the month-long project be finished in the near future.
Continuing with wrestling, the girls team had just been sanctioned for this upcoming season. This is a big deal for the team and girls wrestling in general. For a bit more on the team, here's reporter Jack Toffanelli.
After the inaugural season last year, the girls wrestling team is finally sanctioned. This means that the PIAA, or the Pennsylvania Interscholastic Athletic Association, now recognizes girls wrestling as an official high school sport. There are over 100 schools that have a girls wrestling team.
The goals for the season are to just improve. I don't know, not really win, but do better than we did last year since we lost just all the time.
I think our goals for this season are to get through the season with, as much of our lineup intact as possible. We've already had a couple injuries to start the season, so we're hoping to work through those. And just to really do the best that we can in the competitions that we're in and keep improving as the season moves on.
It's kind of to work better as a team because at the beginning of the season, I don't know, none of the girls really knew it was happening. So then by the end, we were all kind of working together to help each other out and not just focusing on ourselves.
I think that the team has learned from last year that preparation is really key and important, and the more work we put in on the mat in practice, the better our results are when we get out in the competitions.
What is the significance of a sanctioned girls wrestling team? The significance is now it's an actual sport, so our states are real and our matches are kind of real, and so now it's more important, I think, in everyone's eyes, and I don't know, there's more opportunities now for us to do things.
The significance of having our girls wrestling team sanctioned versus just being at a school level is that it allows us to have better competition, more regimented competition, and allows the girls that are hoping to wrestle at the next level in college prepare a little better for what that might look like.
Thank you, Jack.
No problem.
After an upsetting loss against the 210 Cardinals Sunday afternoon, Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Kenny Pickett underwent surgery on his right ankle Monday morning. Pickett was injured in the second quarter when he went for the goal line on a 3rd and goal play. He was replaced by Mitch Trubisky and did not return to the game. Even though he is having surgery, he is not expected to be placed on IR. Pickett did not play in yesterday's loss to the Patriots and is questionable moving forward. The Steelers hope to have him back at least by the end of the month.
Moving away from sports, late last night, actor Michael B. Jordan crashed his Ferrari in Hollywood. Just before 11:35 p.m., Jordan had crashed into a parked Kia Niro SUV, which is just as heavily damaged as the Ferrari. Jordan is known for starring in movies Creed, Wakanda Forever, Black Panther, and Just Mercy. The Ferrari is shown with one of the front wheels completely taken off the vehicle, with major damages to the side of the car. Photographs from previous years were taken with him standing with his Ferrari, so the public could already assume that it was him behind the wheel. Police on the scene had asked Jordan what had happened, but he gave no explanation. Although the LAPD did not perform a field sobriety test, there were no signs of impairment by drugs or alcohol.
Up next, a closer look into Seneca Valley's choral program as we continue through the winter concert season. Christian Schuster is joined by Ella Gemperlin and Parker Spence to give a closer look into the Magretto Choral.
The concert season is starting to pick up. Let's check in with one of the top ensembles at Seneca Valley. The Magical Choir is an audition group that meets after school on Mondays. The Magical Choir, or MADS for short, sing in a 4-part harmony and without the piano. And chorus, singing without a piano, is called singing a cappella. Let's hear from some of the students involved with this choir.
What makes the Magical Choir harder than regular choir is that we have to actually know our parts, because when you're in a sea of concert choir, you can there are people that can not carry you, but you know what I mean. And so with Magical, you actually have to know your part, because if you mess up, they will hear you. They'll hear you.
I would say a bigger increase in difficulty of song, and then the part that we have a smaller group makes it harder to stay together, and it trims us from being able to rely on others to not being able as heard, and then you have to contribute a lot more than when you have to do regular choir. What's my favorite thing about being in Magical? I would say the songs are a lot more fun, even though they're harder. I always have more fun in Magicals than I do in chorus. I'd say you're also with more people who are more dedicated to singing than a lot of other people, in chorus.
The Magical Choir comes from a genre of 14th century songs that are without piano or instrumental accompaniment. Most of the songs are used from the Renaissance period. That is one of the challenges about being in this choir.
Was the audition process of becoming a magical? Well, I went through the audition process when I was the end of freshman year, and for girls it would be end of sophomore year. Basically what they do is the directors would take you aside and they would have you sing for them, and then from there they would decide if they want you in magicals or not.
So we'll have Miss A or Miss Barker come up to you, or not come up to you. We'll have like auditions by the end of the year, and you'll just sight read some music that you sometimes sing or usually sing, and if you can read it, and if you also can hit the notes of themselves, you are probably in, yeah. What would you recommend upcoming choir students to do when auditioning? I would suggest that they sing. If they can't sing, I feel like the practice that you could be doing or could be having is going to waste. So if you practice, then you're probably guaranteed a spot. So it's like, if you want to be a madrigal, you can do it, you just have to work for it.
The madrigals perform around the community at places like nursing homes and even Kennywood. You can catch the madrigals next week at the chorus concert.
Thank you, Christian, for the closer look.
This week, Miss Finch and Mr. Lowe have been doing a holiday skeleton poster project. Classes have been learning where each bone is and what they do for the body. These posters hang out in the new wing on the 3rd floor to add holiday cheer to our school. This has been a winter tradition for science teachers here at SV for the past few years. Not only does it add holiday cheer, but it also lets students be creative and work together. Some projects have already included reindeers running a person over, skeletons knocking over trees, or holiday lights falling off lighthouses. Be sure to check out these posters to feel the festive cheer this season.
And that's all we have for you today. We hope you have a great weekend. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.